How's it going, guys? My name's Kyle Stevenson. I'm here reporting to you from Brock 110 on the results of our experiment on the effects of soil moisture on the growth of the giant sunflower. So I have a couple of different tables and graphs I'd like to show you. First dealing with our raw data, the second dealing with the p-values for our data, and the third is a graph comparing all the different plants we measured and how they compare to each other based on the varying amounts of water that they received. So I'll hop right into it. Table 1 is our raw data. We had 4 different plants, each receiving different amount of water for each of the plants. So plant A, B, C, and D. Plant A got 250 milliliters. Plant B got 50% of that. It only got 125 milliliters. Plant C got a quarter of the 250 milliliters, which is 62.5 milliliters. And plant D didn't receive any water at all. So as you can see, we measured the height on each date. Each date that we watered them, we tried to water them twice a week. So each plant has sets of data for each of these days. As you can see, we did miss watering the plants on the 20th of October. Therefore, we take an average between the values from the 24th of October and the 18th of October, which gave us points that we could later plot in the table comparing all of the plants. Going into the next table, p-values. So a p-value is pretty much the measure of difference between two sets of data. In this case, we were comparing two different plants. So we have A to B, B to C, A to C, C to D, A to D, and B to D. We're looking for a value that's at or below 0.05. Anything larger than this value, there's not a great difference in the two sets of data. But anything at or below 0.05, there is a pretty large difference in data. We just disregard the hypothesis that there's no difference. So as you can see, in A to B, there's a pretty large difference. It's under 0.05. It's at 0.039. And A to D is our only other value that's below that 0.05 cutoff. All the other values, comparing B to C, A to C, C to D, and B to D, there's not much difference in those plant growths, but A to B and A to D, there's a great difference. Going into our next and final figure, this is a graph comparing all the different plants and their growth height versus the date. So we have plant A in blue, plant C in gray, plant B in red, and plant D in yellow. As you can see, plant A had the greatest amount of growth in a rapid amount of time, and then plant C, D, and B, they're all pretty similar in growth rate. Plant C being the next tallest, plant B the next, and plant D, which received no water, that one didn't grow as tall as the other ones, and the rate was a bit slower, as you can see from the slope of that graph. You can see the p-values in here. Comparing A to B, that's a pretty large difference in growth rate. And A to D, which is this yellow one, that's also even a greater difference. But A to C, it's not close enough to hit that 0.05 value. So yeah, there's a point for every date that we watered, and even including the 20th of October, we have this average. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Now to Annie and Monty to finish out this presentation. Thank you.